Hi, I'm Jenny Raitt. I'm the Director of Planning and Community Development for the Town of Arlington. I've been asked by CHAPA to answer some questions about why the Town of Arlington is doing a Fair Housing Action Plan, which goes above and beyond what is required by municipalities. There are a number of reasons why. Local government plays an important role. Throughout my career, I've worked on housing and community development issues primarily in the public sector, working at both the local and the regional levels. Government, I believe, has an important role to play in affirmatively furthering fair housing. Policies that have been designed to protect some people might hurt others and, in fact, have long-term damaging consequences. It's a sort of political architecture of exclusion, and it's difficult to unravel. Doing my small part to change both policies and practices and encouraging my peers to do the same can, I believe, have a cumulative impact. There are both public and private issues and solutions. The plan will describe both public and private actors who are engaged in these issues related to affirmatively furthering fair housing, which includes both realtors and our local housing authority. By providing extensive data analysis and mapping, by identifying the contributing factors to fair housing barriers, and showing the range of barriers to long-term lack of access to housing opportunities, the plan will forge a clear path to identifying fair housing goals and priorities for the town. Data also can illuminate the need for additional enforcement and resources to fund that enforcement. Actionable goals make change happen. We're creating this plan to have specific actionable goals to overcome identified impediments to fair housing in our community. It's early in the plan creation process, but at the end of it, the plan will provide the town with a clear set of policies and practices that we can follow. Additionally, the plan becomes a renewed commitment to fair housing and to the people who are facing fair housing concerns. That commitment is really important to express, but follow-through is also very critical, especially in matters related to fair housing. For example, adopting a language access plan can create a pathway for people who require translation services to be able to participate in a conversation that relates to their quality of life and housing stability. Revealing data can come across as part of the planning process. The plan will help the town more deeply understand fair housing issues in the community by showing us an analysis that identifies how successful prior efforts to affirmatively furthering fair housing were and how much farther we will need to go. And the plan is also interconnected with and will inform the recommendations in our very many other active long-range planning initiatives. Using a fair housing view, for example, through our transportation planning process and our economic development work, will provide a very important viewpoint, one that's not often considered. Addressing invisible needs. When we engage a wide range of stakeholders, which will now be happening through virtual focus groups and phone interviews, among other mechanisms, we will gain data from sources that don't always get included in a fair housing story. We are already learning the importance of providing additional information to these stakeholders about tenant rights and also about how to report discrimination. As we continue creating the plan, we recognize that it's more important than ever to be active, change-oriented, vigilant, and forceful in affirmatively furthering fair housing and in creating more equitable outcomes in our community. Thank you so much for listening to the reasons why Arlington is doing a Fair Housing Action Plan.